You see all over social media a man who a lot of people are happy is dead. A lot of people are happy that he's dead. This is what you got to do. A high value man is not going to marry you if you're a baby mama, if you're fat, if you're not friendly, if you're not, I don't know, submissive. Yet Kevin Samuels died, not married. He died in an apartment that he was renting, and he has no legacy. I hope he saved all the YouTube coins and super chats he got.
Hello YouTube, it's your boy the Passport Bro Wingman coming at you again with another YouTube video. And the title of this video is called Passport Bros Like Kevin Samuels and David Carroll, We Would Dance on Your Graves, the current sentiment of the haters. And the way this video came about was I was looking at various videos on YouTube in addition to like Passport Bro content. Also sometimes here and there dib and dab in the quote unquote manosphere, just to see what people were talking about, what's going on in the culture. Because a lot of times what's affecting the manosphere somewhat is affecting like the Passport Bros. We're somewhat to a degree connected because we're both to a certain degree dealing, affected by the dating culture in America. It's just that, in my opinion, the manosphere has they're still within the culture, still battling the culture within America, and Passport Bros, we're just kind of, to a certain degree, opted out and just said we're not going to deal with that completely, and we just kind of chosen to go outside of the United States. But either way, we're somewhat connected in a way, in that we've been affected by the dating culture in America. So anyway, as I was going through some various videos, I noticed that there's a new content creator. He's been going at it for a while, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. His name is Dage Kundaground 3. So he has a lot of good content. He like exposes like a lot of misandry within like American culture and that kind of thing. He has a lot of different like good content, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna leave a link to the full video in the description box, and you can check out this content creator's channel, and please subscribe. And so anyway, as I was watching this video, and the reason I was watching this video was there was a lot of talk about David Carroll recently. If you're not aware, David Carroll was a big content creator in the manosphere space, and about maybe like a year or so ago, he had wound up, it maybe even longer than a year ago, he had pretty much passed away. And he put out like a lot of good content. And so anyway, there's this female content creator, and I don't want to give her name too much clout, because when I reveal some of the reasons why I think she did this, I don't want to give her any more attention than she needs to be given. But so I'm going to rhyme her name, and you're probably going to know what I'm talking about. First name rhymes with Piscilline Kerosene. Piscilline Kerosene, and if you know who she is, she talks about like swirling, divesting, that kind of thing. And so anyway, obviously she was not a fan of David Carroll, and she also was not a fan of Kevin Samuels. So anyway, this content creator that I have referenced, he did a really good job exposing her and exposing some of the reasons why she's putting this content out. I agree a lot with what he said. And so anyway, he really went in hard on her, and he also showed some of her clips in which she pretty much was bashing Kevin Samuels, bashing David Carroll, and said some really, really disgusting things. And the reason it's so disgusting is this. I don't have a problem with Piscilline Kerosene and Synthetic G saying negative things about Passport Bros and black men. But the difference is, in this case, Piscilline is talking about a man who can't defend himself. He's passed away, and actually both of them passed away, and she's still talking stuff about him, saying some of the most negative stuff. As you heard in the first clip, And here's the thing: in the first clip you heard, I pretty much took two different sound bites together. I put them together because I didn't want to drag on the video, and also I didn't want to be, like copyright reasons, and I don't want to feel like I'm stealing people's content. So I took little pieces of the video, put them together at the beginning. So the first portion of the sound clip, she's actually referring to David Carroll when she's talking about that she feels that everyone is glad that he's dead. She wanted to say a whole bunch of stuff about him, just saying stuff like, he probably would have been better off if he did get married instead of telling people not to marry, some of the dysfunctional women within his country. And then the second portion of the clip is her referring to Kevin Samuels when she said that he died in an apartment that was rented. He didn't leave any legacy. He got his niche off of bashing women and saying don't date, telling women that no one's going to date them if they're overweight and all these other things. So she went in really hard on both of these brothers, and I thought it was very disgusting. There's a reason why she did this, and I'm going to go and get into that. But let me say this about the two brothers that she spoke on. First off, I myself was subscribed to both their channels. I listened to a lot of their content. Now, I did not agree with everything David Carroll said, and in some cases, not everything that even Kevin Samuels said, but I agree with a whole lot of it, especially Kevin Samuels. More so with the David Carroll tip. I didn't agree more so on the religious side of things when he, spoke on some things about, like the church and that kind of thing. As you guys know, I am a Christian, so it was some things that was said that I didn't necessarily agree with. But again, my whole take is this: I don't necessarily have to agree 100% with everybody to, to be friends with them, to work with them, and that kind of thing. And I actually don't think anyone agrees 100% with anybody, even like their parents. But I agree with a lot of stuff David Carroll had to say, and I really respect a lot of his content. He put out like a whole lot of content. He contributed a whole lot. I didn't agree with every single thing, but I really respected some of the stuff he spoke out on. And so, shout out to him, and shout out to his family. Same thing with Kevin Samuels, who's a huge YouTuber. I think he had like way over 1 million followers. And both of them, at least according to me, will be missed. I definitely feel like that. Why she's trying to say a lot of people are glad they're dead, I disagree. I feel that a lot of people miss these two brothers. While David Carroll didn't have as huge of a following as Kevin Samuels, they both will be definitely missed. And especially now, there's tweets all the time about Kevin Samuels. People are still doing reviews of his videos. And as far as David Carroll's, within even the Passport Bros and even like a lot of Manosphere spaces, you'll see him come up here and there. Like you'll still hear people refer to some of his sayings. So both of these brothers are well missed, and they deserve, like I said, rest in peace to them both. Rest in peace to them both. I think it's a shame. I think it was shameful and disgusting that she is almost celebrating their demise. And it's not just her, because she has a decent following, which tells me, as you know, her and Synthetic G, they both have a huge following of women within this country for some reason that just like to bash men. And also they like bashing the Passport Bros as well. And so again, it's not just them; it's some of their followers as well, and they're happy that both these two brothers unfortunately passed away. And all it does is reinforce, why brothers need to get their passports and leave, and really should enforce, in my opinion, for a lot of the Manospheres guys that are listening or out there, why you should kind of, instead of bashing the Passport Bros, you need to really, I feel like you really should take this into account and listen to us when we're telling you that the dating culture in America, and even some of the females, not all of them, but some of them in general, are like, it's just almost at a point of no return. It's just going too far. Like you're gonna have to. What do they say? Insanity is doing the same thing but expecting different results. Kevin Samuels and David Carroll, to a certain extent, they had different views on how to actually deal with the culture here. But Kevin Samuels, especially, was really trying to tell the women the honest truth on why like men are not like, especially black men, why they're not really dealing with a lot of the women here, why they're trying to go overseas, or why they're trying to deal with, why they're not really marrying some of these women. He was really trying to give it to them what they need to do to improve themselves, especially if they want to get a man of means. He was really trying to be upfront with them, and they danced on his grave. And as you see, this sister is happy that he's gone, and she really wanted to trash his legacy. Same thing with David Carroll. Let me say this about David Carroll. In many cases, her and a lot of people have really misunderstood, his message and the thing he's talked about. In their eyes, he's just bashing black women. That is not true at all. Like, here's the thing. And here's the thing. What he basically was doing was criticizing a lot of the behavior. And one of the major things he said was the disagreement he had with a lot of the women, especially Pisselin, is that he didn't like the fact that a lot of these women will date Pookie and Ray Ray. You'll date them when you're younger, you have babies with him, that kind of thing. And instead of telling the younger women, stop dating these type of men, date a productive men, instead of doing that, she would pass over all the productive black men who now most of them are going to be passive roles, passive over all of them. Instead of recommending those women to date those men, to go after those men, she would double down and say, just don't date black men altogether, or decent men. To all my non-black men, pretty much don't date decent men at all. Now just go outside of your race. Probably in this sense, if David Carroll was still alive, it wouldn't be, put it this way, it wouldn't surprise me if she would even tell the women, don't even date, the non-black men in this country. Just go after the men outside of the country. Stuff like that. That was his whole thing. His whole thing was, why are you not recommending the hardworking men who are here, who just, instead of promoting them just to, leave their community, date men, of, other nationalities or whatever. And no offense to my non-black, listeners. It's just a matter of that was his whole thing. Just like Kevin Samuels was trying to get, in many cases, black women to come back to the table and prove themselves, to fix the black community. In the same way David Carroll was doing the same thing. His message was just, he was just hard on her and a lot of some of the black women, just to tell them, instead of encouraging the younger women and women in general that, to date Pookie and Ray Ray, why don't you encourage them to date that brother who has his engineering degree, who's trying to be a doctor, who's trying to be a lawyer? Why are you skipping over them and going straight for outside of the race, or going outside of the country, or whatever, or divesting or whatever? Why are you doing that? And pretty much trying to say that all black men are the same, when literally you're not even, these men are almost you're almost treating like the decent brothers like they're invisible for the most part. Not only did you pass them up and not want to deal with them when you're younger, but even as you get older, you're supposed to get wiser. You're throwing them in the same bucket as Pookie and Ray Ray and saying that they're Pookie and Ray Rays as well. That was his whole point, is that you're not going to discredit those men. You're not going to say, you're not going to throw them in the same bucket with those other types, those Pookie and Ray Rays that you've dealt with, and say that we're all the same. You're not going to do that to justify your reasons for leaving the community. Like he was saying, if you just want to leave the community in general and just want to date non-black men or foreign men, just say that, but don't lie. Don't throw us in that and try to make us look bad and say that we're all like on the down low, or that we're all like we only make single mothers, we're not trying to get married women, we're abusive, all these color purple type lies. That was David Carroll's whole thing. That was his whole thing. And unbeknownst to her, even though she's saying he only bashed black women and stuff, that's just not true. He went in on the brothers as well. When he saw like a fights between brothers, he spoke on that. He spoke about a lot of dysfunctional within our community. We have a lot of things to fix. He talked about all of that. So I just feel like her and a lot of people, even some guys in general, have really misunderstood him. That's why I'm defending him in this aspect, because he's not here to defend himself. And I feel like if he was here, he would have a whole lot to say on this. So let me get into more into this video and epistling as well. So here's the thing. The reason she put this out is quite clear. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. So anyway, some brothers have been covering this too. She puts out a video, and she's doing this right around Easter time, which is just so dramatic. So anyway, right around Easter time, she puts out a video saying, "Here's another Godfather of the Manosphere that I'm exposing." Uh, she's saying, "Oh, I couldn't have put it out a year before because I had made a promise to him. He's not here anymore, so I can break my promise." Uh, you know, pretty much that reason. And then she's saying, I really feel it's going to help a lot of women, that they need to hear this. It's going, a lot of brothers need to know about this. So that's quote unquote her reason for why she's exposing him now that he's passed away. And that's just not true at all. And here's the other thing: when she quote unquote exposes him, she does like a live stream in which she pulls up a lot of the text between her and him. She pulls up some text between him and her. And she's saying that even on one end he's bashing women, bashing swirlers, but then he's reaching out to her to talk. She shows all these texts, him going back and forth, saying, he's flirting, saying all this stuff like that. But here's the thing. She's saying that she didn't put it out because of because she made a promise to him. I don't think that's the reason at all. Here's what I believe. And no one knows for sure except, her and David Carroll. Unfortunately, he's not here. But here's the reason I think. She showed one list of conversations they had. I believe they probably had several. They probably had several different conversations. And I believe that in those conversations, she probably said some things that would expose herself and embarrass her. And I'm sure of that. Because she's not going to show you all the text. She's just going to show you the ones that try to make David Carroll look bad. And here's the thing. I notice a lot of times some of these and not even just the divestors, but some of these anti-passport bro women, they want to try to get the men within our community, passport bros, and even the manosphere people. They want us to go back and forth on like a divide and conquer type thing. So they like getting in the middle of everything. So of course she's going to come in here and only tell one side of the story. We don't hear David's side of the story because he's not here to defend himself. So of course she's going to make it look like he was just weak for her. He was simping. He went to her. And here's the thing. Well, number one, David Carroll never said that you put it away. He never said that he would never date a black woman again. He never said that at all. Only thing he said that is, if you were to try to get married, you may want to look outside of the black community, only because he said that non-black women generally come from a 2-parent home. So those women have they have something to look at. They have an idea what it's like to be married because their parents are married. So those women have an easier transition to being wives versus some black women because they come from single parent homes where the mother is dating several different men. So they don't have a very good example. That is what he was saying. He wasn't saying don't date black women altogether. He was just saying that you need to for the most part, you need to really vet these women. You can't just because a woman has a big butt and smile, you can't really just date her. You have to really vet her. That was his whole point. He already told you himself that he saw a woman that looks good. He was going to tell you. He said he would want to smack. I'm not going to put it into words, but pretty much what he was saying is that if he saw a woman in heels, she looked good, and she was a black woman, he's a man. He's going to look and say that she looks good. He said that literally in his video. So for her saying he's simping, that exposed him. He already said this in his video. You're not exposing anything. And on top of that, that's not play dumb. Pisselin, not only was she came on Jason Black's stream before, she was in Kevin Samuel's stream before, and I'm sure there's several other big content creators whose platform she suddenly came in was trying to talk to. In fact, there was theories that she had a crush on Kevin Samuels because he was the type of black man that she would want to date if she dated a black man. And I believe that's the same thing that happened with David Carroll. So even though she's trying to play like she's playing him and he's thirsting for her, I secretly believe that she was somewhat attracted to him. I believe that. She's not going to show you the text. And since David's not here, he can't pull up his phone and show you the text. She's sending him pictures, and then she's saying, "Oh, the pictures I sent him, those are public." How do we know? How do we know that? How do we know that those pictures, the pictures you sent to him, you later made them public? Like, we don't know which came first. We don't know if you made those public and then sent them to him, or you sent those to him and then later you made them public. There's no way for us to verify that. and she's not going to let us check. There's no way for us to verify that. So of course she's going to put it in a manner to make like he's simping. But I don't believe this at all. Like she can miss me with this. She can miss me with this, and I really feel bad because I'm seeing some content creators almost taking her side and trying to say this looks bad on him, this looks bad on the manosphere. When these are people who really, if you believe that, I hate to say it, to some degree, you probably didn't really rock with him. You probably didn't like him to begin with. And, that's really why it's so easy for her to come in with this divide and conquer and throw some dirt on his name. And you just go along with it instead of really vetting what she's saying. I don't believe anything this woman is saying. She's very deceitful. It's not above her to tilt things in a way that, would make, him look bad. Like that would make a lot of the manosphere people look bad. Pretty much what I'm saying is it's not beneath her to slander some of the manosphere content creators. She's not beneath that. And here's the reason why I believe that as well. Here's why I even double down on that. She's doing this, and I agree with the brother in his video, because Just Pearly Things is just swarming the internet right now. All the content creators, even some passport bros, are covering the Just Pearly's thing. They're trying to figure out, how did this happen? Pearly's a racist. We shouldn't let her into the culture. What's going on? It's all this talk about her swarming, and you literally see the manosphere almost crumbling behind this woman who is there, who's making the manosphere look bad. It makes it look bad because it looks like manosphere people are all divided. There is like a civil war going on as a result of this because now people are taking sides. There's people siding with Pearly Things, people siding not against Pearly Things, and it's just very divided because of this woman. And in the center of it is and I'm not trying to, and to all my non-black subscribers, I usually don't like bringing up race a lot because it's not really about that, but just bear with me in that. Bear with me in this, and that this woman is a swirler, and she has an infatuation with non-black men. So for that reason, this has to be said, is that because Pearly is a white woman, she's a white woman, and and Piscelin knows a lot of men, not just some white men, but some of the black men find her attractive, even though she's, as we all said, kind of plain, but there are a lot of men who are attracted to her. She's in the center of all these black men and all these other male content creators in general, even the white red pill content creators. All these men are talking about her. She sees that and she wants that. Not only does she want that, but she likes the fact that woman came in the middle of this, disrupted all these manosphere talking heads, broke all this up, caused all this division, and she wants a piece of that. She's very upset, as you can hear in her voice and even in the video. She feels that David Carroll, Kevin Samuels made her life a nightmare. All these men who talk about Kevin Samuels, all you passport bros, all you content creators, you really have made her life very troublesome. Had people coming out there attacking her talking points, and she's very upset. So she's looking for any reason she can to get back at us and show us that we're all, trying to make us out to be jokes and find ways to attack us. So what did she do? She said, okay, so Just Pearly Things was the quote unquote, as some people would try to say, the woman king of the manosphere. And down goes your woman king. She's a racist. She never really rocked with y'all like that. And in her mind, you guys were so dumb to kind of bring her to your space. She manipulates you. See how unintelligent you guys are. So to add to that, what she wanted to do was add fuel to the fire. Well, let me also show them that this other guy who they looked up to was not the guy who they thought he was. Let me throw David Carroll out there and say, see, you guys were looking up to David Carroll. This was your general, and look what he's doing. He's on one end, he's saying one thing, but another, he's doing something else. Look how you guys look. He was thirsting after me. You see that? I finessed you guys. He was giving me intel on you guys, and he was telling you guys to do this and do that. And I was really the mastermind behind it. I really swindled you guys. You see how that works? That's what she's trying to do with this. That's why she's trying to do this. And that's why I won't say her name. That's why I call her Piscelin. You know who she is. I'm not going to try to give her. That's why I didn't even put her name in the title. I'd rather give the credence. I'd rather give the credit and the salute to David Carroll and Kevin Samuels. That's why I didn't put her name in the I didn't put her name in the description. I didn't put her name in the title for that exact reason. I didn't want to give her any more clout. You'll find out who she is if you click on the video in the description. You'll know exactly who I'm talking about. But I didn't want to give her any more fuel because what she wants to do now is be in the center of all the manosphere, have us going back and forth about her. She's getting views, she's making money because again, her content is dying out, it's falling flat. A lot of women are trying to see that this divesting thing and swirling is not really working for them. You know, them and a lot of women in general who's rocking with Cynthia G and some of these anti-passport bro women on TikTok and stuff, they're saying that what they're saying that they don't have anything for them. They don't have any solutions for them. What they're saying a lot of times is untrue. It's not going to help them. It's only going to lead them to being an old cat woman who's never married, you know, with no kids, no retirement. That's all it's leading them to. And a lot of women are starting to see this. So she's dying out. She's looking for content. She's looking for a way to stay relevant. So what better way than to jump into the manosphere, put this quote unquote video of exposing David Carroll to get more clout, to up her channel, to up her subscriptions. She sees that Cynthia G is booming, getting all the subscribers. She wants to be relevant again. So that's really why she put this out. And that's why I wanted to speak on this because David Carroll's not here to defend himself. I wanted to defend David Carroll. I wanted to defend Kevin Samuels. I wanted to talk about their legacy. Their legacy was great. It extends now, even though they passed away. And even though both of these brothers have been passed away for a year, we're still talking about them. We still remember them. We still remember the videos. We still remember their quotes. We still remember their funny lines. We still remember what they stood on. Salute to both of them. So, you know, and as I said before, we only see what she's saying about David Carroll. We only see those text messages, and even then, his name is not even really in the text. So we don't even know how to verify. But I'm just going to assume that it is him. But as I said before, even if it is him, we only see that thread of back and forth. And who knows what she said before that? She could have been, we don't even know, she could have visited him. She could have been dating him. We don't even know this. And as I said before, he was never against dating black women. He just said you need to vet these women. Now, I know some people will say, well, what about this woman? Now, keep in mind, this same woman was on Kevin Samuels' show flirting with him. Kevin was trying to start a conversation with her. He was trying to get her on the live to start a conversation. She came on Jason Black's show and was trying to debunk him on points about him speaking out against a lot of the misandry. They got into a big scuffle. She dropped off the stream. So she does this. She grifts around a lot of the manosphere spaces, which means she's listening to us. She is listening to us. So the thing is, David Carroll, yeah, he was flirting. I mean, he's flirting back and forth. He might have went overboard and said something else like, "Oh yeah, I'll tell the guys to keep it down." I mean, I don't know about you, but he had a thing called the rabbit hole, and I swear he had to have at least almost like hundreds of videos talking about the misandry. He didn't curb it at all. Like so he can say that in the chat. I mean, of course. As you know, in many cases, when a guy is trying to get into a girl's pants, he's going to say whatever he got to say. So, I mean, let's just say David Carroll has a weak moment. He's in the chat saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, where's the evidence of him doing it? Show us the evidence of, so quote unquote, you got this intel. You telling him to say that. Show us the evidence where he went light on women in the community. Show us the evidence of a video following something you said. He went out there and he said, okay, you guys need to calm it down. It never happened. He went hard all the way to the end. He went hard all the way to the end, putting out content, staying consistent. This one little, one little set of threads. Give me a break. Show us all the threads. We want to see his phone. We want to see what you said to him. How did y'all even meet? How did that work out? Did you go to his page? Did you start texting him? He left his email up there all the time on his page, was telling me you probably contacted him just like you contacted Kevin Samuels. You're not fooling anybody. You're not putting dirt on his name. You're not putting dirt on Kevin Samuels' name. And just the fact that you went the length of mocking them while they're dead and they're not here to defend themselves, you got a lot to deal with. You know, you got a lot to deal with when you pass away. You know, we all at one point going to pass, and this is something you got to live with. You know, I'm not for dancing on anybody's grave or celebrating anybody's grave. All you're going to do is just draw more men to the passport bro movement, We see how you females in the states treat men who are trying to help you and trying to fix the situation, because both David Carroll and Kevin Samuels wanted men to link up with women in their community, unbeknownst to you. They're passed away now, and now we see once again you have danced on another man's grave who was trying to help you, which is why I do not tell men to stay in the states. I say it's dating in this country is dead. Your best bet to find a traditional woman who's going to respect you and is good for marriage is to go outside of the country. I'm not saying you have, now there are pick-me's here. If you can find a pick-me, good. Settle down with her, start a family. If you can't, come over to the Passport Bros movement as it continues. We're going to keep this alive. The legacy of David Carroll and Kevin Samuels continues. We still remember them. RP to both them. You know, peace to their families. And on that note, I've kind of drunk this on for a long time. I was kind of long-winded on this video, but I had a lot to say. I just really felt this was disgusting. So on that note, please subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, hit the notification bell. Tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me what you think about this whole situation. But tell me what you think about, you know, David Carroll, Kevin Samuels. What do you think about Pisselin saying these negative things about these two brothers? What do you think about it? Just let me know in the comments. Please subscribe. Look out for my next videos. And until next time, this is your boy, the Passport Bro Wingman, signing off.